Hello. Good evening, everyone. We'll be beginning in a few minutes. Request all to please settle down. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Tata Motors, a very warm welcome to the golden city of Jaisalmer. We are extremely delighted to have all of you here with us. We have received a phenomenal response to the scale models that were delivered to you a few days back, and we are very excited to bring that experience to life today. It's a joyous moment for us to unveil this spectacular product that will redefine the premium hatchback segment. Designed to set the gold standard in its category, the Tata Altroz is the first vehicle developed on the Alpha architecture. And to tell you more about the same, we have the senior management from our company who will talk about the various aspects of the car today. Without further ado, let me invite Mr. Pratap Bose, Vice President Global Design Tata Motors, who's going to talk about the design journey of the Altroz.
Is this on now? Thank you, Anisha. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Half of you were on the same flight from Delhi, apparently. So we already met and spoke about everything. But this is really odd. You know, you've already driven the car, and now we are presenting some of the details and the story of the car. And why journey? I think design is a journey. While there is that moment of clarity where you find design because you have to search for it, it is definitely a journey. I remember roughly 4 years ago when we were discussing our entry into the premium hatchback segment. Just being a podium finisher wasn't going to be enough. We were going to go for gold. Going for gold was the one and only thing we had in mind. Because People remember winners. And with this, and because we had never done a premium hatchback before, we had never been in the segment, we put into play the entire force of the global design, engineering, development teams to design and develop the Altroz. You know, a lot of you saw this car, of the 45X. This is like a design manifesto. It's like a summary of a book. It has all the visual words that the final car will have. And of course, we go through the design process. We really hone and fine-tune every single line when we are designing our cars. Many of you know that. Many of you have been to our own design studios. So the real creative capacity and the creative energy is expressed through a model like this. This is a clay model, of course. But it already captures what we want to say with this car. Proportion, the sharpness, this laser focused or this laser cut feeling that the surfaces have. But also very fluid, very beautiful, a silhouette which is sort of ready to move even while standing still. These were some of the goals while we did our manifesto, the 45X. But much, much before that, we actually did a series of research. These are 4 or 5 sketches of the hundreds of sketches our design team makes. And when we were reviewing this as a management team, I don't think we found that really snappy design which was going to become the Altroz. So this was before we did the 45X. And the 45X was that point in this research journey where we said, yes, this is the car, this is the manifesto from which the rest of the project will go. So you can see we use, like I said, the global design capacity, but at that point we gave the project to our UK design team. You know, like I said, we have 3 studios, you all know. And there too we went through an extensive process of getting this car right. See, you have one chance to make a first impression. One chance. You never get another chance. And we said when we will present this car to the world, it should be an absolute segment defining, segment busting, if you will, a product. Because we knew that there was competition. But we would stand above and beyond all of that and really set the gold standard for design. That's the final theme. This is also the final clay model on a very, very cold, grey, almost rainy day in Coventry, in England. We found a little break in the rain and we took this picture. And that clay model was the basis for the production car. Same with the interior. You know, people may be first attracted by the exterior of a car. It really is what you see first. But the love affair or the real relationship between a car and a human being or the customer is always through the impression that the interior makes. Actually, you spend, 60, 70% of your interaction with the car, even more, sitting inside. You don't always see it from the outside. You're actually in this car. And here too, we wanted to completely redefine what premium hatchback interiors had become. So of course, again, this is a manifesto. It's a way of saying what we want to try and achieve, this feeling of comfort, material, quality, modernity, fluidity, all inspired by this aircraft-like cockpit without sacrificing ergonomics, without sacrificing reach, vision. All of that has to be right. We are known for our headroom, legroom, shoulder room, and I'm sure some of you experience that today. How do you marry a beautiful, dynamic, sporty exterior with a roomy, comfortable interior? This is almost a great design challenge actually, because usually what you start doing in the interior starts reflecting on the exterior. So we used some really clever design and engineering to ensure that the silhouette that a lot of you have now shot and tweeted, that silhouette was maintained as we did the interior. Again, we would have researched thousands of sketches, but then you find that one, that one which you say, yes, this is the one we want to go with, like in the exterior. And of course, they have to talk to each other. The interior and exterior must be the same car. And this is why the teams working on design always work together in developing interior and exterior. This is the final clay model. When we show our models to the executive committee team to sign off a design, it's still very important that we all sit in the car and know what we are signing off. We are not signing off a picture or a computer model, or we will sell a car, we will not sell a poster. So this is why we go through the effort to create a property like this, which in every sense gives the management a chance to critique, but to understand what we are going to put into the market in a few years. So the 45X was inspired by the future, always about the future. I think the Tata Group and Tata Motors is always like this, sort of forward-looking, and this car really comes to symbolize that philosophy. It's a corporate way of being, that you don't accept the status quo and you challenge everything that exists out there. And from that came the Altroz production car. Like the Nexon before it, like the Harrier before it, whenever we show a concept, we always work really hard. And believe me, we have some exciting conversations between design and engineering. I think that's a nice way to say it, exciting conversations, to achieve these beautiful cars. And I can't stress enough how important this combination of design and engineering actually is. So, when you think about the future, you look at architecture, you look at boat design, you look at everything except automotive design in a way. You look at society, you look at everything that's happening around you, and then we were inspired by some of this real radical thinking. Thinking radically about the segment is always important. And then, of course, you have to bring it back. Someone asking me the question today, how far is far? You have to go as far as you can go, yet it should be acceptable. There was a great designer, Raymond Loewy, who used to say this word, Maya, most acceptable yet advanced. So we look really ahead, far ahead, and then we have a chance through the process to bring it back to what you see today. So this grille, like a visor, in all your photographs, if you see on the red car and the gold one, the front face of the car is really like this helmet visor kind of look. That sets up the expression for the car. And we wanted something really purposeful, quite serious, yet dynamic. But again, not aggressive. The eyes are the window to the soul, so you have to get the eyes of a car right. You have to get the face right. I hope we see a comet today, but if you don't, then please go and see the window line of the car. We have some nice clear skies in the desert, but we use this sort of comet inspiration to set up the waistline of this car. Again, to help make it really, really dynamic. In fact, one of you said it when you all came back today, that the car really looks like it's moving while it's standing still. I think that's a real compliment to the design team, that you can have a inanimate, static object look like it's moving. And it's achieved by that window line and that shooting comet waistline. The rear too, we wanted to have this feeling where you can't see the lamps at all. They're sort of floating in this black graphic. So from far, all you see is this really stunning tail of the car. And then when the lamps come on, you see the lamps. So we really wanted this sort of sharp, yet absolutely attention-grabbing rear. Because most of the time, this car will actually drive past you. So you'll probably see the rear a lot. This was as I was saying, the inspiration for the cockpit. It's got nothing to do with Gunter being from Airbus, but it helps sell the concept. This real layered approach where you have the most functional elements closest to you. You don't take your eye off the road. See, safety is not always about what happens after a crash. Yes, there are airbags, there's pretensioners, there's structure. Safety is to also prevent a crash. And in the kind and amount of data that a car is now handling, having the screen in the right place is very, very important. So you don't take your eyes off the road. A second off the road, if you're traveling at 60 or 80 kilometers, could be meters before you see something. So that's why we have this real layered cockpit approach, that what's most important is in the A zone of the driver or the pilot, and then you have further subsequent controls, but all within arm's reach. So never do we sacrifice ergonomics for style. Ergonomics and design go together. And that's exactly how we did the interior. The gull wing in a different way. The albatross wing doors, very, very important feature. Ingress, egress, another one of our DNA elements. How could we make it better? In India, where we have certain kind of clothing, if you want to put a child in a child seat into the back, where you have the ISOFIX, this door opening is actually towards that aim. You can get in and out of this car better than any other car in the world. So, inspired by that. And it's in the architecture now. So Alpha Arc now has this system of door opening. So there you have it, guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, the Altroz, inspired by and from the future. This has been an incredible journey for the design team, I must tell you, and it makes me sort of very, very emotional to see it in this great setting, the Gold City. And I don't think there could have been a more fitting tribute to this city and this car. So thank you very, very much. And without further delay, I want to introduce my colleague, John O'Connor, who's the vehicle line director, and he'll talk to you about the product development side of it. Thank you, John.
Thank you, Tata.
Thank you. All right.
So yes, my name's John, Vice President of the Alpha Arc platform. Just like to build on what Pratap mentioned. Along with the design work and so on, we obviously started the platform development at the same time. And I think from the comments we've had back today, you've driven the cars. And for us, it's a very proud moment to actually tell you about Altroz, of course. You've driven it. But the design journey, the global teams that worked on it from both UK, Italy, and India have come together basically to deliver this gold standard platform. So I'm going to tell you a little about it. So Alpha, it means agile, responsive, fast, delivers like the stance that Pratap mentioned, lightweight. Although lightweight, it's lightweight but safety, developed for safety, and provides a balance of refinement and ride and handling. Flexible. We can change the platform configuration in terms of wheelbase, wheel track, and so on, to develop a number of different models, from hatchbacks through sedans to SUVs. And advanced. This is advanced. It's the most advanced platform that's been launched in India, and it has global capability. So I just want to show you a video about the Alpha Arc. just a small video showing the capability of the Alpha platform. Most importantly, Tata mentioned safety. So we designed Alpha with safety in mind right from the start. Almost before we started finalizing the sketches, it was how are we going to meet the future requirements for safety. This is going to become very important in India, and we had to lead that development. We've designed Alpha with an energy-absorbing body structure, so it achieves basically high-speed crash potential. It's high-strength steel construction. Actually, we have about 20% of high-strength steel. It's the first platform designed in India and built in India that has that capability. In fact, when we were building the prototypes, we had to actually scour Asia to find the material. We added intrusion beams and sill reinforcements to, yet again, improve occupant safety in cases of side impact. Comprehensive testing, but testing came after digital validation. We spent months and months and years and thousands of iterations of digital validation. The CAE modeling was comprehensive and a first in India. Following that, we have validated with crash tests, durability testing, NVH, and so on. Nothing has been left to chance. Hit my button. Yes. So also Altroz, right from the start, we wanted the best accommodation in the class, in the premium segment. So 70% of the car length actually is devoted to the customer, the driver, and the passengers. It has class-leading luggage space, 345 litres. It also has best-in-class shoulder and hip room. I think you've experienced that when you've been driving the vehicle today. Flat floor for rear passengers. One of the key concepts that we worked with Pratap and the team was how do we actually really make a rear seat package that seats 3 adults in great comfort. And I think you've seen that. The flat floor that we have in Altroz has delivered. Pratap mentioned the wing doors, the Albatross doors. They do provide really easy ingress-egress. The 90-degree opening actually is a first, again, in the industry, and we are really proud to have delivered that. As well as ingress-egress, Altroz has 24 different utility spaces, which really enhances the experience of both the driver and the passengers. So this, we put a lot of work in with Pratap's team. I think we've delivered. I think you've experienced that today, and feedback we've had is very good. I need to go back one. So it also is launched. We've launched Altroz with BS6 powertrains, both petrol and diesel. You can see the Revertron 1.2 Revertron has, I have to look at this, 1200 cc. It has a few unique features. There's dual VVT, has an integrated exhaust manifold, higher compression ratio, and actually delivers fantastic power and torque, best in class. The 1.5 Revertron diesel engine, again, BS6 compliant, largest diesel engine in its class, all lightweight aluminium construction. We've also got drive-by-wire technology included. Both powertrains come with both dual mode, eco and city, to provide the best of economy and driving performance. I think one of the great USPs and the great feedback from you all today is about the driving dynamics of Altroz. It has superior ride and handling, absolute control and confidence, and inspiring to drive. I think everybody, that's basically been the key message I've received from you all. And great, it's a new platform, and it delivers completely as we promised. We have wider track and coordinate stability control. I think you experienced that today. The car is basically unshakable. It has a great combination of both rough ride and smooth ride. That comes from the dual path suspension that we developed. It has ABS and electronic braking distribution as well. So if you do have to brake hard, the EBD actually makes sure that each wheel has the right level of braking that you need for the situation. We've optimized gear ratios to give us the best performance feel, low-end torque, so that the drive experience you get is actually brilliant. It delivers what you want. We also have the next generation electric power steering. I think it's basically the balance we have between light efforts at low speeds and basically great feedback at high speeds. That's brilliantly tuned for the variety of different drives we have from, of course, ladies and gents. And also we have, you notice the flat bottom steering wheel. Has a number of things. It basically provides a fantastic ergonomic experience and improves the actual ingress-egress as well. It's not all about engineering. I think we all love engineering. The team is proud to have delivered what it has. But Alpha and Altroz comes with a superb modern manufacturing strategy as well. Throughout the project, we've utilized a Gen 3 new product development process with a series of gate reviews that basically has ensured we deliver sort of expertly at each gateway, and the project does not go forward without it. It provides perfect control in the project and delivery. We have new technology. We have laser stitching in doors and laser brazing technology in the roof to basically provide two things: structural integrity, high best class NVH, but also design features to help in the future. 90% BAW automation with KUKA robots. We've also applied a rigorous world-class quality process. So Altroz, you've seen the interior quality is superb. Body and white quality is superb. It achieves over almost 100% capability in terms of the key attributes that we want. Testing. So the platform in Altroz has gone through a very rigorous testing. Following our CAE development, we've obviously tested the car. We've tested more than 3 million kilometers actually across a number of different categories. Temperature from -10 to 50 degrees C. Altitude range from 19,000 feet to sea level. Now you're going to test my engine, but also varying terrains. Kanyakumari to Ladka. So we've driven lots and lots of drive events, 3 million kilometers. We've built 200 prototypes to actually complete the validation process. There's just some examples here. Obviously, heat ventilation AC testing on the left-hand side, NVH testing in the undercoat chamber. I think you've seen the results in the refinement the car delivers today. The emission testing, it comes with BS6 engines, so we have completed millions of kilometers of testing with BS6. At that point, I'm going to hand over to Vivek, who's going to tell you about the customer and the marketing strategy. Vivek?
Hello. Yeah. Yeah. Glad you can hear me now. It's time to welcome our media friends again, and also the audience from across the world on a live webcast. So the Altroz is a very special product for us, for Tata Motors, and a couple of reasons for that. Firstly, the premium hatch category by itself, ever since its inception, probably 10 years back, it's been on a constant growth path. It's delivered continuous growth, and today, 1 out of every 4 hatchbacks sold in the country is a premium hatchback. And for Tata Motors, it's our first entry into the premium hatch category with the Altroz, and it will give us enhanced market coverage of about 12%. And that's why it's a very important product for us. Let's understand who's this customer who's been keeping this segment so hot and boiling. He's a typical upmarket, progressive Indian customer. But one of his key nature is to identify his positions, to mirror his positions with his success, to his attitude, to his personality. There are a lot of us, many of us among us, we like to portray our success through the items that we flaunt, items that we buy. And this customer truly believes that he deserves the best, and he periodically rewards himself with the best. His purchase process for his car is the same. He rather go in for the top of a segment which is the top of the hatchback segment, rather than compromise with probably the entry products of other categories, which would not give him the same kind of features. Whereas the premium hatchback segment gives him probably 2 segments up above in terms of performance, in terms of feel, in terms of features, and in terms of safety. It is to this discerning and extremely challenging customer that we built the Altroz. And we know, like we heard from Pratap and John earlier, that Altroz was built to completely break the benchmarks in the segment and deliver the absolute gold standard in the category. And I'll summarize all that was said earlier. The gold standard is in different areas. Firstly, on safety. Secondly, on design, technology, intelligent interiors, which also deliver ultimate customer delight, and performance and exciting drivability. These are the areas that we thought was very, very important to this customer, and we set out to deliver gold standard across each of these categories. We'll start first from the interiors. Pratap said earlier that close to 70–80% of the time is spent inside the car, and it's a very important place. We start with the dashboard. The island dashboard, as we call it, with the blue surround lighting, creates an extremely premium ambience in the car. Combine that with premium materials and fabrics, the Altroz interior is absolutely premium. Add to that the 7-inch floating touchscreen and the 7-inch TFT screen makes it a very technologically advanced ambience in the Altroz. Now, we spoke about the Bing 90 doors, but that in combination with the flat floor at the rear delivers unbelievable level of ergonomic space, ergonomic easiness to customer. We believe that this will soon become a segment benchmark on ingress and egress, but also comfort and releasing that amount of space in the rear seat. We're also very happy with the way the flat bottom steering wheel has turned out. One is functionally, it looks very, very, very sporty and upmarket, but it also releases a huge amount of features at the fingertips of customers. The steering wheel has a lot of functions available at the fingertips, combined with the TFT infotainment screen and the HD touchscreen, ensures that a lot of features, a lot of information can be accessed by customers without taking eyes off the road. And all this works together, in fact, towards a key safety point. We spoke about utility spaces, and Altroz boot space is a segment benchmark. Today, as the media friends were driving away and loading all their photography equipment into the rear of a few Altroz, even we were surprised at the number of bags that was actually been fitting inside. No doubt that it's a segment benchmark in terms of boot space. We also have a very large glove box. It's a chilled glove box, bottle holders, umbrella holders, which has become fairly standard now in Tata Motors cars. Armrests for both front and rear, and there are space and easily accessible space and thoughtful spaces all around the Altroz. And we really believe that it's a gold standard in terms of ergonomics, and together they deliver ultimate customer delight. We spoke about technology. Technology in the Altroz delivers many things. Firstly, infotainment, connectivity, but it also works towards safety. It works towards delivering a much more fuel-efficient drive. And more importantly, it works towards keeping the customer safe and delivering a drive which is stress-free. We spoke about how the touchscreen, in combination with the TFT screen and the flat-bottom steering wheel, ensures that all kinds of information is readily available and accessible, be it the song that is playing currently, mirroring of the Google Maps onto the TFT screen, the drive mode that is currently being engaged, how much power and torque is being accessed, and also voice alerts. All these are available without the driver having to take his eyes off the road. We also have intelligent start-stop, which does its bits for fuel economy, and also a cleaner, greener drive as we go ahead. Many segment first again. Rain sensing wipers, automatic headlamps, cruise control, a reverse parking camera, wearable key, and an infotainment system powered by Harman. This easily takes Altroz into the segment best and beyond in terms of technological impact in the car. Enough of being spoken about safety in Tata Motors. We are one of the few companies who have put the money where it matters and really committed on safety in many of our cars, notably the Nexon, and Altroz is no different. John has spoken a lot about it, but importantly, we believe safety is built inside the Alpha Arc, and it's ready for the best level of safety performance in the future. So dual airbags and ABS is standard across all variants, right from the lowest trim, and voice alerts are standard, and no compromise on safety, whatever trim level the customer chooses. Driving pleasure, we spoke about how the customer of the premium hatch category not only looks for best technology, best design, but he is a very keen driver. He likes to enjoy his drive, and that's where Altroz, with its wide stance, ABS, EBD, and the flat-bottom steering wheel, which gives a very engaging drive, delivers probably easily the segment best performance. So to summarize, Altroz has at least 10 category best offerings that takes it to the next level in terms of what the standards of the category are. The wide wing 90 doors, combined with the flat floor at the rear, the safety of the Alpha Arc platform, the best-in-class boot space, rain-sensing wipers, floating in touchscreen infotainment along with the ambient mood lighting, 7-inch digital cluster. You have the multi-drive mode, which is the first in segment, idle, start, stop, auto headlamps. The list keeps going. But Altroz is clearly the gold standard, and we believe it's going to make a real difference in this category. Altroz comes in 4 base trims. The bottom trim comes with fully packaged safety built in. As I said, ABS, EBD is built in, dual front airbags, rear parking sensors, and multi-drive modes is built in. Of course, it goes up to the top trim, which is XZ, which has all the features that we spoke about. Apart from all the features and all the technology that is packed into the Altroz, we are doing something really special. For the first time in India, a mainstream manufacturer, we are offering customization, factory-built customization for the customer. We spoke about the 4 trims available in the Altroz, and many a time customers are forced to jump to the next variant, paying much higher amount of money just for 1 or 2 features. But with factory customization for the Altroz, now customers can choose exactly the features that they want, and they pay just for that feature. So this is our Imaginator customization platform, which will, we believe, make customers extremely happy. So somebody who buys a trim and wants to upgrade to the touchscreen infotainment from the top trim, he can easily do so. And all that can be done online, and the order is placed directly to the plant. Similarly, there are upgrade options available for styling, for the dual-tone roof, and many other things. And this is the first time a mainstream manufacturer, a mass manufacturer is offering it in India. And this also, I believe, is gold standard. So as I said, you can see the trims behind me, and there's many upgrade options available to make sure that customers are able to pay exactly for the features that they want. Altroz comes in 5 colors. You've already seen the high street gold, the downtown red. We also have a gray called the Midtown Gray, Avenue White, and Skyline Silver. So that's a lot of features, a lot of technology. And we always wonder, how will the customer get access to all this information? We know so much about the car. The car is packed with technology, but it's been a challenge for customers to access this information. And happy to say that Tata Motors has worked with Google to actually bring in a voice bot, an AI-powered voice bot, where the customer can actually access all the features of the car by just calling on Google. So I'll give you a quick explanation. Let me take out my phone. And all we have to do is, OK, Google, talk to Tata Altroz.
Greetings, I'm Altroz, the all-new premium hatchback car from Tata Motors. Think of me as your genie, but instead of granting wishes, I'll answer any questions you have about me. In case you need help with booking a test drive or the car, you can count on me. But first, let's get to know each other, shall we? Humans first. Tell me what piques your interest: art, music, reading, sports, adventure, or travel.
I think I enjoy music.
I'm very particular about the beats. That's why I come installed with 7-inch infotainment system by Harman. My infotainment system also supports Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Here's a video for the 7-inch touchscreen infotainment by Harman.
What colors do you come in?
I come in 3 more colors than Ranveer. They are Downtown Red, Midtown Gray, High Street Gold, Avenue White and Skyline Silver. And if you're a mix and match type of person, you will love the dual tone roof option as well.
What do you think of the competition?
Competition? Lol. Well, if a car in the same range as me has idle stop start, 17.78 centimeters digital TFT color instrument cluster, multi-drive modes, floating island dash top layout, instrument cluster controls on steering, ambient lighting, flat bottom steering wheel, passive entry through wearable key, factory fitted customization and absolute safety, then maybe I have competition. Let me know if you know a car like that.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Altroz. Bye. I'm sure artificial intelligence
I
is
know
more...
this is goodbye, but I know in my engine that we'll talk again. Just open Google Assistant and say, "Talk to Tata Altroz," and I'll be back.
Okay, thank you. So that's proof that artificial intelligence is actually more intelligent than me. It's not letting me speak. But that's all from us about the Altroz. It's time to unveil it in person. Thank you so much.